In this video we're going to explore the basic elements of the line command, which you can find up here in the draw ribbon. It's the very first command. Lines can be created using polar coordinates. Now, what are polar coordinates? Polar coordinates use distances and angles to describe the position of a point. The distance and angle are made relative to the origin, 0, 0. So, what am I talking about? If we can see here, we have a number of crosshairs, starting at 0 degrees at the 3 o'clock position and increasing in an anti-clockwise direction. So we can see here it's going from 90 degrees to 180 degrees to 270 degrees and back to 0 degrees, or 360 degrees, the full revolution of a circle. So, back to creating my line. Alright, if I go up here to my draw ribbon and select line, it's going to ask me to specify the first point. Now I'm just going to click on the drawing space anywhere there. So that's my first point specified. Now I need to use my polar coordinates, i.e. a distance and an angle. So I want this line to be 200. I also want it to be horizontal. So horizontal from my origin to the 3 o'clock position will be 0 degrees. So I hit tab and enter in 0 for 0 degrees and hit enter. And that's my line created, 200 long and horizontal, or 360 degrees. Another way to select the line is to just hit L. We can see here that our line is highlighted in blue, so we just hit enter. Now we're asked to specify our first point again. If I want my line to start at the end of this line, I just click the end point of that line. I want it to be 50 millimeters long, so hit 50. Tab, I want it to be at 45 degrees, so just hit 45, hit enter. And that's my line created at 45 degrees to that line. Now, if I want a line going at 90 degrees from the XY off the end of that 45 degree line, it's very simple. Or L for line, hit enter. Specify the first point. It's going to be the end of this endpoint. Hit enter. I want it to be 50 millimeters long again. Tab, 90 degrees. This is going to be 90 degrees to the origin, not to that line. And we can see our line is created directly up like so. Okay? Now, if I wanted to create a line at 45 degrees to this line, going in this direction from right to left, I'd hit L again for line, hit enter. I want to specify the first point, which is there, but I want it to go over in this direction. So we can see that we've already went 0 degrees for a horizontal line, 45 degrees for a line angled at 45 degrees, 90 degrees, which is going to be 90 degrees to the XY. So now I've traveled from 3 o'clock up to 12 o'clock. So this 45 degrees is going to be from 12 o'clock back towards 9 o'clock. So we want to plus 45 onto 90 degrees, which is going to be 135. But we want to specify a distance for that line, so we want 50, tab, 135 for 135 degrees, and hit enter. You can now see that this line is at 45 degrees into that line. Okay? Now, to return this line up here at the top, this horizontal line, we specify the endpoint. I want it to be 200 long. I want it to go back from right to left, so I tab 180 degrees. That returns back like that for me, and this should line up directly in front of my original point, which it does. Okay? Now, this ends the tutorial for the line command.